Hi, welcome back to this tutorial, which is a continuation of my previous tutorial on data contract. So earlier in my previous tutorial we saw about how to use the name property and order property and what is the benefit of using the two properties. And now you can also have another property which is called default value. Okay, so what is this default value? If you see in WCF, for a string or an integer, it takes a default value. For integer, even if you don't give any value, the default value will be 0. Okay, so here in my program, okay, so can you see I did not give any department ID, but it has taken the department ID value as 0, and my address is of type string. Okay, so it has automatically taken the default value as string. Okay, so if I want to emit the default value, okay, so if I say WCF should not take any default value, then I have a property. Okay, and there is another property which is called is required. Okay, so first we will see is required. Okay, so is required equal to true. Okay, so this is required equal to true doesn't have any impact here, because already it is going to take the default value which is 0. Okay, so is required equal to true is always true, because the int value by WCF, the integer value, if I don't give any value, it is taking the default value. Okay, now I will run the application. Okay, now here invoke it. Okay, so there is no change in my invoke, because in my response, because is required is it gives a default value which is 0, so already there is some value here, it takes the default value. Okay, but is required and emit default value, emit default value will emit the default value which is 0. Okay, so now I combine it with emit default value equal to false. Okay, so what happens is WCF will emit the default value 0, but I have given another property which is called as is required equal to true. Okay, so this two contradicts each other. Okay, so now we will see what happens. Okay, so I am invoking it, and now it is saying that there is a failure. Why? Because there is a contradiction here. I am telling the property that it has this property should have there should be some value. Okay, but I am also emitting the default value which is 0. Okay, so these are the some of the decorations and some of the properties that you can give for a data member. Okay, and you can also give the name for a data contract and namespace for a data contract. Okay, so namespace is for giving a unique name for the WSDL, and it is for overriding the default tempuri.org namespace. Okay, so thank you for watching this tutorial. I will catch you up on the next tutorial. In my next tutorial, I will explain about how to implement a service. Thank you.